Hey guys, thank you for joining me for another deep dive into my Jurassic Park collection. Before we get to the main topic of my video though, I want to do a quick update on my last video concerning the differences between the 1993 boxes and the 1994 boxes. A viewer, Blaze, quick shout out to you Blaze, thank you so much, caught something that I hadn't ever seen before, and that is right here on the side of the boxes. I'll do a quick look there. If you see right here on the side of the box, it says the word skin, and on the Series 1 or 1993 box, it's yellow. And that does not match what's on the 1994 box, which is white. I checked with all my other 1993 and 1994 box figures, and they are identical. They don't share this. This is something specific to the young Rex, the Series 1 Young Rex, and the not the Series 2 Young Rex, the Series 1 Young Rex, and only with this guy. Does not present in the big T-Rex or the Triceratops or the Stegosaurus. So really good catch, Blaze. Thank you so much for bringing it to my attention. But Blaze did remind me of something I did fail to mention the first time around. A surefire way to tell the difference between these boxes. It's less subtle, but it's usually harder to spot because sellers don't take pictures of the area that you need to look. Excuse me. So we're going to look at the 1993 version. You can see right there at the very bottom of the box, it says it's a note to the parents to throw away all the trash. It's a safety warning. Now, with 1994, you'll notice there's additional writing down there telling consumers where you can find the dino damage pieces under that platform. None of the 1993 boxes are going to have that dino damage under platform writing. So if you can see it, or you can ask the seller to take a picture to make sure. If you can't quite tell, if you're not quite sure, that's the best way to find out. So for any of you variant hunters out there, I hope that helps you a little bit more, and happy hunting. So let's get into the real reason that I'm making this video, which is the Series 2 Young T-Rex. As you can imagine, she's one of my pride and joys. She's exceptionally rare, can be very expensive to get your hands on. She's absolutely beautiful in and out of packaging. And I'm really, really lucky to have her. But I'm not going to review this toy. Plenty of other people have. I wanted to talk about this particular piece and share with you the mystery that surrounds it, because there are questions about where it came from. And the questions arise because of this, which you might not be able to see on camera until I do this. That is a plastic window. A little backstory. For America, for the United States, Kenner released all of their box dinosaurs with the windows open so we could touch the dinosaurs, the toys, with our grimy little hands, which is something that the UK versions, the European versions, did not do. They put a plastic window barrier. I'm not sure why. In fact, if you have any information as to why the releases in Europe had the plastic window, whether it was for safety or just some kind of requirement that toy manufacturers had to go through to sell in those countries, please let me know down in the comments, because I haven't found any information on it whatsoever. But here in the United States, we were allowed to touch it. I mean, it was a big part of the selling point for these toys, for this toy line, that there was rubber feel skin, that, you know, it felt like dinosaur skin, that we could bend them and manipulate them in ways that hard plastic just can't. So, in comes me. In 2011, I purchased this one from a French gentleman. That French gentleman did not mention anything special about it, simply put it on eBay, and I really would love to tell you how much I paid for it. I unfortunately do not remember. I don't have any receipts, can't find a darn thing about it. But I imagine I paid around $300 because I felt at the time that I had overpaid for it. It turns out I didn't overpay for this at all. I was excited So I posted the picture of it with the box window in the official image submission thread at JP Toys. Hi JP Toys, you guys are going to get some name drops right now. So that started a dialogue, and some of the responses I got back made me realize just how special my piece might just be, because no one had ever seen one before. It was an aberration. No one had seen an American box with no language variants with the window. So we're going to get into the 3 theories that might explain what this is and where it came from. So theory number 1 is the custom theory. It was not debated at all on the forum because I kind of nipped it in the bud almost immediately. One of the questions that came up was whether the collector card inside this box was multilingual or simply in English, as are all of the North American United States figures. So, sad face emoji, I broke the tape. The fact that I broke the tape to get in there tells me that it was factory sealed. And to put a custom barrier in there properly would have required opening the box. The box would have had to be open. So while I had it open, I double checked, and it seems like it was factory done. It was just way too good a job. It was identical to the way that it's done for the European releases. So I kind of immediately said this was not a custom job, because first of all, why would anyone? And even if it was done that way, why wouldn't the seller try to sell it to me as such? The seller was unaware, seemed to be unaware of how important, or at least how rare a figure he had, because I think he would have charged me a lot more for it. So the custom theory is probably the most unlikely of the theories. The second theory is what I'm going to call the test shot theory, and that was put forth by forum moderator Roselaar. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's the way I say it in my head. Roselaar believes that this is a previously unknown American variant. 2 Series 2 box dinosaurs made it to European shores. That was Quetzalcoatlus and Carnotaurus. In both of their cases, multilingualism can be seen on their boxes and on their collector cards. My Series 2 Young T-Rex is identical in every way to the American release. It has no multilingualism on its box or on its collector card. Furthermore, it has a proof of purchase, which I'm told did not come on the European variants. So for that reason, Roselaar contends that this was a test shot and somehow made it to market and then somehow across the pond to the owner that I bought it from. The last theory is the rush release theory, developed by forum administrator Carcharodontosaurus, forum member anonimusdinonicus, and me. By all accounts, the Series 2 Young T-Rex was one of the last toys to hit the market. Now, it seems really late in the game then, at that point, to bother experimenting with plastic windows on American releases, seeing as for the last 2 years, they had been doing just fine with their open windows and no plastic window border boundary thing. So what we think happened is, instead of spending the time, money, and effort that it would cost to change the box to be like the other European releases, they instead just slapped the plastic window on it and sent it on its merry way. Europe didn't really get as many toys as we did here in the States, and already the amount of Series 2 toys that were on the shelves was diminishing. Jurassic Park Mania was on its way out. Kenner knew this. So we think that it was no coincidence that I bought it from a European seller. If it had come from an American seller, then I feel like we can really lean into the test shot theory. But I feel like in the end, that's probably the most likely scenario. So, well, there there it is. One of the reasons why I love collecting so much is that when mysteries do crop up, they're so niche that their answers will likely never come. And it fills me with a kind of joy and awe that anyone, literally anyone, can become personally involved in fan-wide enigmas. So if you guys have any information or any theories that you'd like to share, let me see them down in the comments. And if you have this particular variant with the box window, please let me know. I mean, we can compare notes and try to shed some light on this bizarre variant. So I hope I was able to help you, give you a little insight, maybe just entertain you with some niche JP minutia. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Check out my bedtime stories with the little ones, and I'll see you on my next deep dive. Later, nerds.